So following on from the previous video, I'm going to show you a little bit about how we can use what we've got here now to produce technical drawings, and kind of going from there how you can use that in a portfolio. So we've got each of these components here. You can see that they're kept separate, and we can from here either create a drawing. So ISO for many Europeans will be suitable. Portrait, and this is landscape. Landscape tends to be the one that I use the most, but it doesn't really matter too much. You do have other ones there, like the American version, Japanese version, but I'm going to go with this ISO A4. It's already kind of there. There's also the option to kind of make other ones. So if you wanted to make like an A3 template, you could, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with an A4. So taking that, going OK, and it'll take a moment. Now you get the option, you can do each individual component part as their own drawing, or for this first one I'm just going to do a kind of a technical one there as the whole component, and create a orthographic drawing based off of that. If I want to create maybe an isometric also, can be quite nice, especially when this is just all rectangles and can be somewhat difficult. So I've got that there. If I want to kind of play around with some of the settings here, I can. So like the automatic, so the sheet will produce, depending on how big your component is, a suitable scale. So the computer's kind of realized 1 to 3 is probably what works best for us here, but there's other options that if you wanted to make it 1 to 2, 1 to 1, you can make it different sizes. So I've got that there. Quite pleased with all of that. Quality, simplification, yeah. So that works quite well. And here I can then put on my dimensions. So there's some rules to kind of bear in mind just with regards to dimensions. So when you're putting your dimensions on, you choose your points at the corners. So like it wouldn't be correct, for example, for me to choose these ones that are not quite in the corner, because then you end up with just a little run on here that this gap here is correct, this is not correct. So and it's a small thing, but when it takes zero effort to do it the correct way, let's do it the correct way. So some other general rules: smaller dimensions on the inside, bigger dimensions on the outside, and we tend to try to avoid over dimensioning things. So it wouldn't be correct, for example, for me to put 60 and then put another 60 here, because yes, it's correct, but the computer will basically say, it's a kind of bad practice where if I go back and I change this dimension here, then the computer doesn't know which one is the one that's correct. So we try not to over dimension our drawing. Keep it as much as possible pretty straightforward, and like keep the lines lined up with each other. So these dimensions kind of look quite decent. I can do the same here, just at the back. this 20 here is already referenced here, 20. Perhaps just here, 20, and you can put a dimension there as well if you like, so to make that 15. So that kind of looks quite neat and tidy. I don't need to put another 15 there. The computer knows that that's 15, and you should be able to deduce that from pretty simple mathematics. Looking at it, you may want to maybe change the scale on it, so maybe like a 1 to 2 might be a better fit, perhaps. 1 to 1 probably won't fit perfectly. No, so 1 to 2 for me is probably what I think works best. Document details. So I've changed it from 1 to 3 to 1 to 2, so I can just go back and change that. 1 to 2. And you'll see like details here will kind of show up. Drawn, date, and for people who use this beyond school, you might end up having things like checked and approved and revisions and that kind of stuff. You can put your technical drawing names and drawing numbers. This is, and because now I've updated my scale there, I can delete that. And I'm quite pleased with how that looks. So for me, that's a pretty good quality drawing. Previously, I've seen people just take a screenshot of this and upload that screenshot onto design portfolios, but I don't necessarily think that that's the best way to do things. I'm just going to update this, so I'll just call this sample box for laser cutting, and it's drawing number 1. So I'm quite pleased with that. Now, depending on your level of detail that's required, you may want to do drawings for each individual component, or for some individual components. You might not necessarily need to do each and every one of them, but I can go here and I can also create a drawing of part 1 there, because that first part is quite important, so maybe I could draw that. So I can, this is an A4. Maybe I might want to change this to 1 to 2. And because it's just a 2D shape, I don't necessarily need all of my views. I could probably even just do this as a 1 view component and put my dimensions on that. And maybe I'll put this here. Okay, again, one of these small things, like try not to have the actual drawing cluttered too much with dimensions. Pull the dimensions out away from the drawing where possible. Again, we've got loads of space there. If I really wanted to, I could even get rid of this and make it a 1 to 1 scale drawing. And does that fit moderately well? It does. So that might be, a more suitable view. And if I still want to have like a view showing the thickness, I could maybe use the top view. And perhaps I might need to just again, just remember, update this 1:1. You know, back piece, whatever you want to call it. So once you kind of have all of your sets of drawings, however many you deem necessary, you can then from here export this. So you can either take a screenshot, or you could actually export it as a file as a PDF, or you can also export it as you know, a JPEG or a PNG and insert that into a PowerPoint file. So I can kind of go back piece, export that, lovely. It'll take a moment, I'm sure. Insert image, upload from computer, and you know, there it is. And I can include all of my images, or I can include screenshots perhaps, you know, depending on kind of what I want to do. If I want to just show maybe some of these parts, I can hide them, depending on kind of what I want. Where's my screen? Print screen button. And you know, you kind of get the idea where you can now start to show the, you know, maybe the parts that are maybe more important or less important. You know, maybe if you want to show like a partial cutaway, like that could be perfect. And you know, exporting it as a PNG is neater, I think, than trying to take a screenshot and, you know, cropping it and all of that. Like, to me, that's perfect, and it requires zero effort. So again, doing it the right way makes it better. In the next video, I'll show you how to export this for laser cutting.